This is Beirne Donaldson, and she and her husband bought this property from his parents, and they are the creators of this land. So let me ask first, how much land do you own here?
We have 2.5 acres, but we bought it at different times. We bought the house. My husband called him up and said, "I'd like to give your land to Beirne for her 60th birthday." And that's when we got it. In the meantime, since he was never coming back here, I was still gardening and cleaning it up.
What was the land like before you began to work with it?
Weeds, briars, Japanese running grass, 2 tons of poison ivy, and that was back in the times when, you know, they fixed the telephone pole here, and they just the power pole, and they just pushed it into the ground. I mean, just pushed it over. And my father-in-law used to throw, you know, old pots and everything, you know, off the porch because it was such briar. Below me was nothing but briars and some trillium, but.
What made you want to create this extraordinary landscape?
My grandmother had a famous garden. It's in the Smithsonian. She was one of the first proponents of using wildflowers in a planned formal garden. And her garden was in Millbrook, New York, and it was a woodland shade garden as well. The part of it that I liked the best. She had a formal garden with lots of sun, but I love the smell. There's a smell to the same type of land. It's not the air, it's the moisture or the rot, or there's something about the smell of the earth, and it was very much, I got here, even despite the trash and all that stuff, and I thought, oh gosh, I'm home. Because it's like Proust wrote in the A la Recherche de Temps Perdu, the taste of a Madeleine brought back this man's whole childhood. Well, I was very close to my grandmother, so that smell was very comforting to me. And then I thought, oh well, good-o, I can do this. I mean, I like things natural, as Jasmine knows, because she wants to cut this down. No, we can always murder that tomorrow. Let's see what it does. Or let it spread its seeds, or, you know, I don't mind sticks, you know, or any of that. Happy. So I also want to, my husband has been very interested and good to me about giving me all the paths through the property. And so I want to complete my version and his version for the property. My grandmother's farm was Deep Hollow Farm, and so we're going to name the trails Deep Hollow Trails, you know, as a tribute to my grandmother. So.
Do you have a favorite part of the land?
The smell.
The smell.
The smell and the surprises. I mean, I got a mushroom. 5 of them I had, and it's the one, the mushroom that the Chinese think is, you know, eternal bliss or heaven. I can't remember the name of it, but you know, that's it's not just a mushroom that you see in the woods. It was just a very specific, special mushroom. It looked like a horse's hoof, lovely maroon color with a white tip like a French manicure. And you know, then one year we had 70 mushrooms growing up next to the bottom of an old oak tree, all just this like a alpine village of mushrooms. So I think the smell and now the surprises. I mean, that's just it. It's their moments, and you just they just hit you, and I just think like,
You have to pay attention to the
Yeah.
moments of perfection.
yeah, and
that really
there are a lot of them.
Uh-huh.
If you're willing to take a minute. I mean, when I woke up this morning, there was no world out here,
Uh-huh.
you know, and that happens a lot. And so I go get my coffee, and there's no world, and think, oh, they're filming, and oh my goodness, and you know, then by the time I'm almost finished my first cup of coffee, hello world.